Ethiopia, the other largest densely populated nation in Africa and one that has seen a rapidly developing economics newly, has been shocked up in the history 1 week. At first Main Secretary Haile Mariam Desalegn suddenly obedient following 5-year in force. Later a domestic country of disaster was proclaimed the following date. A declaration by the country announcer told the GO was required to stalk a wavelength of against government protests. Hundreds of human beings include dead in 3 years of strife, and the is the other period with 2016 how a country of disaster has been proclaimed. The government as well retains the liberty to close downward the print and levy a social curfew, detailed information of that include not been liberated. By the facility of the country of disaster, any man closing downward business community or social services will person trial activity. The government gave 3 key reasons, yet, several analysts say the procedure lacks legislative base and how claims on insecurity are not real. Instead of they type the country of disaster as a precautionary to such who might try and reason anxiety while a new main secretary is equipped. Regional activists are concerned how else by the government action might be designed at future quelling disagreement. In January, officials liberated more than rather than 3,000 policy activists and journalists of jail consisting opposition leaders Bekele Gerba, Mirara Gudina and Ndu Alam Araj. But the authorities say the pardons are portion of a go to build a domestic unanimity and expand more democratic involvement. The country of disaster, opponents tell, contradicts how. For largest human beings through Ethiopia, lifetime is ongoing as up. In the equity Addis Ababa, shops are outdoor and human beings are departure on their industry as normal. But in several areas of Amhara country, human beings are defying the authorities by close their business community and crippled transportation services. By the government according to reports answered by coercion residents to resume their shops. Such defiance has occurred in Oromia wherever big crowds include collected to greet the liberated prisoners. In several cases, the crowds include chanted slogans versus the governing side, but include not florid retaliation. The steering coalition, the Ethiopic Human Beings' Revolutionist More Democratic Frontline, EPRDF, is very reticent and it is difficult to aware precisely which is departure on. But with upcoming to force, several in the policy elitists include charged Mr. Haile Mariam of creature poor and missing in management. His retire could be a go by the steering coalition to discover a much stronger lead, or it could alarm divisions amongst the component parties on ethnical channel. Especially apparent is the stress among the Tigrayan Human Beings' Release Frontline, TPLF, that has seen its domination and impact diminish, and the Oromo Human Beings' More Democratic Organization, OPDO, that is proper more energetic. Substitute Mr. Haile Mariam in who of the Oromo society might as well be one way to encounter the demands of Oromo protesters who include charged the authorities of marginalizing them. Ethiopia has never had an Oromo main secretary, although they are the nation's greatest ethnical team. Lemi Megersa, provincial country CEO of Oromia and chief of the OPDO, is amongst such hoping to be main secretary. Some contenders involve Debretsion Gebremichael of the TPLF, Demik Makanan of the Amhara Domestic More Democratic Motion and Werkina Gabeho and Abiy Ahmed of the OPDO. All 3 parties are members of the steering EPRDF coalition. A quantity of grievances include managed famous protests through Ethiopia above the recent 3-year, more than on Ethiopia. Key facts, figures and dates. Can Ethiopia be Africa's guideline manufacture nave?